Rings a Bell is definitely one of the most straightforward songs on the record. Um, I think Rings a Bell is actually, it's almost like an invitation into Cape God in a way. It's like the lyrics are about deja vu and nostalgia, and um, must have been a reason for this feeling because it rings a bell. It almost speaks to the overall like journey of going into this liminal space to explore all this stuff. And not it's not very romantic for me. I'm totally fine with people interpreting it that way, but it's more about, I mean, deja vu really trips me out in general. Like sometimes you just get the strongest feelings that you've been somewhere, or that something is meant to be, or fate, karma, like all that stuff. I don't really know what I believe in, but I don't not believe in any of it. Like I find it a very magical feeling, and so that's kind of what Rings a Bell is about.
For me, the coolest moment of the song is, I guess you could call it the bridge, where there's sort of like those distorted vocals layered over like the beat that uses your voice. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
like the very trippy. There's a lot of trippy chord changes at that part.
Yeah, yeah, and that's my favorite bit. Was that did that
The
come
part
from
that
your
goes
brain?
like "Turning,
Exactly. Yeah.
turning, turning," and I'm like, oh, oh, oh. And it's just like this weird scale. Yeah, that part's. I remember it was like late at night when we were doing that, and we were like laughing so hard. We're like, what's going on?
I heard once that a person close to you suggested that the final chorus needed an ad lib. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, there's this genius that works for me. His name is Paul.
I like to Who, me?
No, you know, I guess I never really go in on like the end chorus riffs and ad libs, and yeah, it was a good call to add some ad libs at the end of Rings a Bell.
Where you said you wrote that initially in that batch of 3, right? It was.
Yeah, that was in the first week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, do those songs feel like sisters in a way, or do they just happen to come together?
No, they really feel like sisters and brothers. There's some masculine energy in there for sure. I think like they sort of covered the basis of which I felt like I'd already created like this sort of, I'll use the word landscape again, that I could work within with those 3 songs. I think Fresh Laundry was haunting, Rings a Bell was like groovy and slick, and Regulars was very emotional for me and very like freeing. So between those 3, I was like, I sort of worked in between those 3 when I wrote the rest of the record.